Anthropic just released the most powerful model they've ever made public, and on their own test, it doesn't just beat GPT 5.5 and Gemini, it leaves them behind, but only where it actually counts. Now, leave them behind needs a caveat, because for the quick stuff you do every day, you won't feel any of this. The gap shows up somewhere very specific. Let me show you the clearest proof of it. This model played through Pokemon FireRed on its own. The whole game, no maps, no navigation help, no special tools, just looking at the screen frame by frame the way you would. Sounds like a gimmick, but it really isn't. Older Claude models couldn't finish Pokemon even when you handed them a whole support system. This one did it with nothing but its own eyes, which is screenshots basically. And that skill, holding a single goal across thousands of steps without losing the thread, is exactly where it pulls ahead of GPT and Gemini. Not on trivia, on long, hard and multi-step work. It's called Claude Fable 5 and it came out yesterday. And if you saw my Opus video for Opus 4.8, this is the one I told you was coming. The model that was locked away that only a handful of companies were allowed to touch. Now it's public, though with some safeguards. So this video is two things: how far ahead it really is, and why, if you already pay for Claude, you'd want to try it in the next 12 days before the terms change. That window first, because the timing matters and a lot of people online are getting it wrong. This is not free for everyone. You don't get it without an account. What's happening is, if you already pay for Claude on Pro, Max or Team, Fable is included right now at no extra charge. On June 23rd though, Anthropic pulls it out of those plans. After that, using it costs usage credits on top of what you already pay. $10 per million words in. 50 out, double what Opus costs. So for the next 12 days, anyone already paying gets their single most expensive model folded in for nothing extra. After that, it's a paid add-on. Back to how far ahead it is. Remember Pokemon? The same skill but real work. The payment company Stripe tested it early because they had access to Mythos, which is the full model without the guardrails. A job across their entire code base that would normally take a full team more than 2 months, Fable finished in a single day. 2 months in 1 day. That is the kind of long, complex task where the lead over everything else gets huge. Now the actual numbers, because this is the title promise and I'm going to back it up. On the big software test, Fable scores around 80%. The best version of GPT sits in the high 50s, so that's 30% almost. Gemini around 54%. That is not a small lead, that's a different league. On the test build for office and analysis work, the kind of thing you'd actually do, it's clearly ahead of both GPT and Gemini again. And on the hardest general reasoning exam they run, only most models still fail badly. Fable lands around 60% higher when it can use tools. So when I say it makes GPT look slow, that's the honest read. On long, heavy, multi-step work, it's not close. On a quick email or a simple question, all of them are fine. Pick the model for the size of the job. Behind the scores, 3 things stand out if you don't write code. It's the strongest model yet for anything visual. It can look at a screenshot of an app and rebuild the working thing behind it. It's better at long analysis, reading documents, pulling numbers out of charts and tables. And like Pokemon, it holds focus across huge amounts of text without losing the plot. One honest caveat before you go all in: Fable ships with safety brakes. If you ask it about cybersecurity, biology or chemistry, your question doesn't go to Fable. It quietly gets handed to the weaker Opus model instead. You do get told when it happens though. Anthropic even admits the brakes are set too tight on purpose and sometimes catch harmless questions under 5% of sessions. For normal work you'll probably never hit it, just know it's there. So if an answer ever feels weaker than expected, that might be why. Though there should be a warning popping up that it is actually switched to Opus. There's a second model here worth one line. The exact same thing without the brakes is called Mythos 5. You don't get that one. It goes out to vetted security firms and working with the US government to critical infrastructure. The name even tells the story. Fable, from the Latin for story that's told. Mythos, the older, raw root. Same model underneath, one is just the version they hand to the public. One more thing if you handle client material, for this class of model, Anthropic now keeps your data for 30 days. Not for training, as they're saying, they're clear on that, only to catch abuse and jailbreaks. But it's a change from how they normally handle it. So if you work with sensitive data, know that before you paste anything in it, the data stays with Anthropic for 30 days. So here's my honest read. The headline isn't a safety drama and it isn't really Pokemon. It's that for the first time in the gap between Anthropic's top model and everyone else is wide enough that it changes which tools you reach for on the hard jobs. And for 12 days, that top model is sitting in plans people already pay for before it goes beyond extra costs again. Short version, on long complex work, Fable 5 is generally ahead of GPT 5.5 and Gemini right now. It played a whole game blind and rewrote a code base in a day without losing track. If you already pay for Claude, you got 12 days to throw your biggest task at it for no extra cost. On quick everyday stuff, any of them is fine, so don't overpay for power you won't use. The clock is the point. After June 22nd, this costs extra. If you want help figuring out which of those tools actually fits how your business works, not just in a demo, that's what I do. Free strategy call is in the link below. And if Fable got you thinking about the opposite direction, powerful AI that runs free on your own machine without nothing in the cloud, I've got a whole series on cloning a voice locally for free. It's the flip side of this and it's linked right here and in the description. New videos every week. Thank you so much for watching and see you again in the next video.